have a leisurely stroll in a place that can literally dry you up, and romp around in an island where a single misstep will mean certain death. But first, how about a road trip in what is quite possibly the most dangerous road in the world? Number 10. Most dangerous road in the world. Hidden within the remarkable mountains of the Andes Cordillera in Bolivia lies a mythical passage that has such a deadly reputation it came to be known as the Death Road. Many consider this to be the most dangerous road in the world because of hundreds of traffic accidents in its long history. Death Road is very narrow and offers barely any space for even compact cars, and yet you'll see mostly trucks and buses plying this route. Aside from hanging off the edge as you pass through, the weather around this area is near freezing with high humidity, so the road itself is almost always slippery all year round. Back in 2007, the road had been improved immensely, hoping to turn its unfortunate reputation around. Today, the road is a popular tourist destination for anyone looking for a little thrill in their lives. Not only will you be able to inject a little adrenaline into your system, but you also get to experience a dramatic downhill route through sceneries that are constantly changing before your eyes, from lush green forests to glaciers and frozen lagoons. The abrupt changes are so fascinating and will surely leave you breathless. Number 9. Death Valley National Park. This unforgiving landscape is the hottest, driest, and lowest point in North America and is suitably called Death Valley. It's hard to believe that such a tough place is characterized by miles of massive sand dunes, beautiful Technicolor canyons, rare and endemic wildlife, and snow-capped mountain peaks rising over 11,000 feet high. When visiting this enormous place, be ready with a map and a lot of water because you will get thirsty. The most popular of their attractions include massive yet picturesque salt flats known as the Badwater Basin, the springtime blooming of wildflowers that fill the desert with a sea of color, and hiking through uniquely formed and colored rock formations in the Mosaic Canyon. But don't get too excited. Many tourists sometimes overestimate their physical limits and are brought into the on-site medical clinics because of dehydration and fatigue. Some come in with some bruises and cuts while trying to hike through tougher terrain. There's no shame in taking breaks or relaxing at the park's rest stops and resort as well. Number 8. Mount Everest. Until the beginning of the 21st century, mountain climbing was a very exclusive activity that was only accessible to a few. But 20 years later, its popularity has reached high levels, despite many of these people being only recreational climbers and not especially skilled. Mount Everest was once seen as an impossible mountain by many, but nowadays is a massive tourist destination that thousands of people flock to. But this mountain isn't a nice little walk, it's a killer. There have been hundreds of deaths from various causes, and most of the dead bodies never recovered. Hikers can even see the remains of these hikers as they pass by, a grim reminder of the dangers this mountain offers. In 2019 alone, 11 climbers died from both inexperience and too many people queuing the slopes. Others may survive, but not without repercussions, as many experience high-altitude pulmonary edema where their lungs malfunction because of the sudden change in oxygen levels as they climb higher. Mixed with the freezing temperatures, low oxygen, steep slopes, and ever-present danger of avalanches, Mount Everest is not a beginner-friendly tourist destination. Number 7. Cliffs of Moher. The rich history and natural beauty of Ireland make it a popular tourist destination. Although there are modern cities like Dublin to experience, more tourists enjoy the rustic feel of the rural attractions the most. One such rural attraction is the spectacular Cliffs of Moher on the island's western coast. The view of both the horizon over the Atlantic Ocean and the breathtaking cliffs themselves are must-see attractions. However, No matter how beautiful the steep slopes cutting through the ocean may look, these cliffs are extremely dangerous. There have been almost 100 reported deaths of people falling off the edge. Some take too close a look at the edge, some have slipped accidentally, and some fell from alcohol intoxication. Despite there being water down below, a fall from this height is assured to be deadly. There are videos of the sides of the cliff collapsing into the water, a natural effect of erosion. Tourists have been advised to stay in the safe zones where they are fenced away from the edge. But for those who seek the dangers, may nature be in your favor. Number 6. China's Hanging Temple. Almost 250 feet off the ground and nestled on the side of a mountain is one of the world's forgotten wonders, the Hanging Temple of Hengshan. For a set of buildings built over 1,500 years ago, it's an amazing feat of engineering. The base of the temples are poles that have been drilled into the sides of the mountain, and passageways carved into the mountain itself. It's incredible that such a wonder of engineering has not been destroyed after all these years, but the specific positioning of the temple is what kept it alive as it avoided heavy flooding and is shielded by the mountain from harsh weather. The temple is dedicated to 3 major religions in China: Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism, and perhaps the combined blessing from them also kept this temple standing. Only a few people are allowed to climb up at a time, and tour guides are very specific and strict on where people are allowed to go to avoid any accidents from happening. Number 5. Duma Beach. According to Indian locals, this seemingly normal beach is the most haunted place in all of Gujarat, India. During the day, it's described to be the home of God, but in the evenings, it's the devil's paradise. Duma Beach is a prime tourist spot in Gujarat because of the legends tied to it. This beach is well known for 2 things: the unusual black sand mixed with the white, and the stories of it being haunted. According to locals, the beach was once a Hindu burial ground, and it's the ashes of the long dead that has turned the sands black. It looks pretty normal in the morning, but when the sun begins to set, the beach does have an eerie feeling to it. Several paranormal activities have been reported, and even more news of people being injured or going missing on this beach have surfaced throughout the years. Today, local police officers ensure that nobody stays on the beach after dark, and so if you wish to visit this mysterious beach, you can only do so in the day. But that might be for the best, because who knows what awaits you when the sun has set. Number 4. Bikini Atoll. Bikini Atoll is a stunningly beautiful beach paradise with clear blue waters and clean beaches. But no matter how lovely the scenery may appear, its dark history will forever leave it haunted. During the Cold War, there was a race on creating powerful nuclear weapons. For the supposed good of mankind, the people of the Marshall Islands were forced out of their homes and livelihoods by US forces to turn their homes into a nuclear test site. Bombs were released into its shores, creating craters into the ocean floor, destroying marine life, and ruining the lives of the inhabitants. What may appear as paradise was made permanently uninhabitable after nuclear contamination. But why have tourists sought out this island laced with tragedy? After half a century since the tests, marine scientists have made shocking discoveries regarding the aquatic life here in Bikini Atoll. About 70% of the island's previous coral species have resettled in the lagoon, and marine life has begun to make a brilliant recovery. Plants over the island that had died from the explosion have begun to regrow and flourish once more, and the waters around the island are crystal clear after decades of soot. Bikini Atoll is now a World Heritage Site that many people flock to witness the regrowth of a devastated paradise. Also, fun fact, I did a report on this in high school. Number 3. Snake Island. 90 miles off the coast of Santos, Brazil, is a small island with the highest concentration of one of the most venomous snakes in the world, the golden lancehead viper. Stepping ashore on this uninhabitable island, it's expected that you would see a snake about 10 minutes in. With overgrown grass all over the island, it'll feel like walking through a minefield of venomous serpents. The golden lancehead snake is so unique with its potent venom that black market dealers sell a single vial of the venom for over $30,000. The island is generally closed to the public, but there are some exemptions with tourists and scientists who pay the big bucks to experience the island themselves. With an estimated number of 2,000 to 4,000 snakes on the island, it's important to know that one bite can kill you within an hour. It's hard to imagine why anyone would willingly visit a place where a painful death may lurk under the grass, Whether it's for personal experience or monetary incentives, the risk of death is certainly high here. Number 2. Chernobyl. Over 30 years ago, the worst nuclear accident in history shocked the world. Due to flawed design and inadequately trained personnel, Chernobyl Nuclear Power Station No. 4 caused an explosion that released radioactive material into the environment and affected many parts of Europe. Until now, the land remains uninhabitable due to toxic radiation levels, and yet it has somehow become a tourist attraction. In a year, more than 15,000 people visit Chernobyl for many reasons. One of the most common reasons is to visit the town of Pripyat, which was once a regular Soviet town, but has become completely abandoned for over 3 decades. It serves as a time capsule for the Soviet Union, a country that doesn't even exist anymore, but traces of it in buildings, paintings, structures, and more remain in Pripyat. But is it truly dangerous to go to Chernobyl considering its history? Medical doctors state that although Chernobyl remains highly radioactive, tourists who follow guided tours and stick to the rules are completely safe. It will only ever be a problem if one were to stray to another trail and end up in places with dangerous levels of radiation. Number 1. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Have you ever wondered how the land on the surface came to be amidst our Earth full of oceans? Natural calamities such as earthquakes and volcanic eruptions shaped the land that we see today. But these changes were over millions of years in the making. But in the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, their active volcanoes continuously change and shape the island every day. The volcano found on the island is the world's most massive volcano measured from seafloor to summit. In most of our lives, we don't really see massive geological changes happening, so experiencing a continuously changing and growing island would be an incredible experience. But it shouldn't be forgotten that the erupting volcanoes here can be very unpredictable and release toxic volcanic gases and various flying debris. There are also frequent collapses of crater walls and free-flowing lava near the path you're walking on. When visiting, do as the park rangers instruct to be lava safe. Avoid closed-off areas since these are purposely done to avoid incidents with free-flowing lava and toxic gas. Always stay vigilant as you are on an island that continues to change by the hour. Which one of these unusual tourist destinations would you go visit? Let us know, and make sure to check out the other amazing videos on the channel. As always, thanks for watching.